So good to have you here. Okay, guys, everybody get one of these as they came in. No. Okay, there we go. So glad you made it. Hi. Okay. I know I printed 30 of these, and we don't have 30 people in the room. All right, who's getting the extras? All right, glad you all are here, and it's 10:04, so let's go ahead and jump into our content section. I have incredible respect for your time and want to make it absolutely as productive as possible. So, quick question, why are you here? Okay, you have business, you want to get more. That's a good, honest answer. Anybody else? Why are you here? What attracted you? Some of y'all, this is the first training class you've attended. You've gotten my invitations for 6 months. You're here today.
Because everything you do is fantastic.
Oh, that's the best answer yet. All right, we're not going to top that one. Okay. All right, we're going to take that as the final answer. Okay, so let me explain to you why I am here and why we're launching this campaign that's called EXONN Gold. You've all heard of that little oil company, right? Okay, and it's got the whole real estate community abuzz. And I noticed as soon as I made this transition last summer and everybody was all excited about EXONN, I detected this expectation that the oil company's arrival and all the spin-off companies and all that was going to make us all wealthy, okay? It was almost like dollars from heaven were just going to drop down upon our heads, which is a very passive approach to your business. And it reminded me of something that you hear a lot when the market tightens up or when interest rates are rising. You'll hear a lot. Come on in here, Patrick. Welcome. Hey, you can teach. There's the man too. We got legends all over the room. Relax. That's awesome. So you'll hear agents. Now. Agents will often say, as an excuse for a lack of production, that, well, interest rates are high, there's no buyers right now, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Again, depending on the market to make or break their business. Y'all, come on in here. You promised me you'd be here, didn't you? In a rising market, you hear the opposite. Again, agents think that the increased activity in the market is going to make them money. Yesterday, I attended the Kingwood Atascocita annual awards luncheon, and it was announced with great pride that half of our agents in the Atascocita office grew their business last year. Okay? Was last year a good year in real estate? It was record-setting. We closed more deals in Kingwood Atascocita than ever before, and hallelujah, half the agents increased their business. You know what went through my mind? What happened to the other half? How did you not grow your business in a rising market? But it just makes the point. It's not external factors which determine whether or not you succeed in this business. If that was the case, we'd all go out of business when the market tightened up, and we'd all get wealthy when it was rising. In fact, as Atascocita just illustrates so beautifully, in a rising market, half the agents were being proactive and making it happen and taking advantage, and half kind of missed out. So if it's not external factors that determine our success in this business, what is it? What makes the difference? It's your willingness to be proactive on a daily basis. And we'll go deeper into that in just a few minutes. And so that's what went through my mind, thinking, okay, how can we get this ship turned in the right direction with not just expecting the market to make us money, but actually taking control of our own destiny? One of my core beliefs is that proactive lead generators control their destiny. Regardless of what happens in the market, with oil companies, with interest rates, with competition, with any of that. If you're a proactive lead generator, honestly, it doesn't matter what happens out there. You are going to be able to fund your aspirations. So that's what EXONN Gold is all about, is exploring 5 proven lead sources that if you take proactive action every day within these sources, your success is guaranteed. And that's what I wanted to bring to you in 2014 is that, hey, it's great that the oil company is coming, but let's not depend on that for our success. Let's let that be icing on the cake. Let's just make that be the gravy. But let's take actions that will guarantee our success and not outsource that to a third party or an external factor. So before we actually get into the 5 lead sources, I want us to take up just a minute and get our heads right. Let's get our minds right. And those of you who've been in my classes before know that we almost always start by thinking about what we're thinking about before we get into behavior. If you're here, and I'm guessing that all of you are here because you want to grow your business. I mean, that's how I've been promoting this class, right? Extra 100K, give yourself a $100,000 raise this year. Would you agree with me that you're going to have to do something different this year if you're going to create that kind of increase in your business? Yes. Right? Yeah, well, what's the definition of lunacy, right? Doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So if we want a different result, we're going to have to do something different. The doing something different is the behavioral aspect. But behavior is always an afterthought. Behavior springs from our thinking and from our beliefs. The results that you had in your business in 2013, good or bad, honestly it doesn't matter. Good or bad, your results were the direct result of your thinking and your beliefs. And by the way, that transcends business. That's true of every aspect of your life. The quality of your finances, the quality of your relationships, the overall quality of your health. All of that is a direct reflection of your thinking and your beliefs. So if we're going to get a different result, if we're going to drive more productive behaviors in 2014 to get us this increase in business, it has to start at the thought level, at the belief level. We have to adopt more productive beliefs, which will then drive more productive behavior. Okay, so just walk through this with me. I want to share with you a thought process. First of all, there's no growth without discomfort. Again, that's one of my core beliefs. Come on in here, welcome. What's that? We've got, where's that paper at? We've got one here. Got one here. Bill, are there more seats back there? Come on in here. Okay. You sit here next to Patrick, if you dare. Okay. Oh, did those not make it all the way around? We'll pass these out at the right time. We don't need them just yet. Okay. There's no growth without discomfort. Okay? What that means is, if we're going to change behaviorally, that means we're going to have to do something different, right? What we're doing right now is what we're comfortable with. That's what we know to do. That's what's getting us the results we're getting. But to get a different result, we have to do something different. That puts me outside my comfort zone, right? Because it's new. I'm untested there. I might be going into a new market where I don't know all the answers. Maybe it's the luxury market. Maybe it's a new neighborhood. Maybe it's a new lead generation source. And so we just have to embrace the fact that discomfort is part of the process. If I'm going to get a different result, that means I'm going to have to embrace the insecurity, the uncertainty, that I'm not going to be the complete master of all the knowledge and skills necessary for that particular lead source. Come on in here. Brought your bodyguard with you today. How you doing, Ellis? We might need a couple more. That would be awesome. That's my shooting partner for lock and load tomorrow, okay? He can just reach up and bat him down, He's my ringer. Okay, so if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? No problem. So just, that's a mental approach, that's a belief, we have to embrace it. If I'm going to move forward, if I'm going to get what I want, I'm going to have to step outside my comfort zone, okay? The second thing I want to say is that money's just a number. And I've been promoting a number, right? Give yourself a $100,000 raise this year. But I want to say right up front, if it's just a number, it's not going to sustain you, okay? Because we can sometimes get all fired up. I'm going to make an extra, 50 grand, 100 grand. I'm going to make the platinum club, whatever it is. But if it's merely an external goal, it will only last as long as we're talking about it, and it will lose its luster as soon as we have to do something about it. as soon as it gets uncomfortable, as soon as we meet resistance, as soon as we start feeling like, oh, I don't really know how to do this or I don't want to do that, then we'll shrink back. So it's extremely important not just to have a number goal, but to know what that number represents, to know what that's going to fund. And so it's critical that you start with your life aspirations. What do I want for my life? What do I want for my family right now? And what do I want to start setting aside to fund for the future? And those could be things that you want to have. They could be possessions. They could be things that you want to do, experiences that you want to have and share with your family. It could be things that you want to know and to learn. But your know, do, have, that list is critically important because those things all do have a price tag. There are financial requirements for aspirations beyond what we're currently experiencing. And it's the financial requirement which should really determine our numerical goal. Whatever that is, whatever the external goal, it has to spring from aspirations that we're truly passionate about, okay? Because otherwise, oh, this $100,000, that's going to sound great until tomorrow you have to pick up the phone and call somebody, okay? And then it's like, well, who really needs that? I'm really doing fine now, right? The bills are paid, okay? I'll be okay. So it has to be something you're really passionate about. We've talked before about levels of aspiration. Do y'all remember that conversation? That if something that we say that we want is just a want, that means I'd be happy if it showed up, but I'm not actually going to do anything to make it happen, right? Y'all have heard me say I would love to win the lottery, right? Last night they're advertising that all or nothing, you know, the $250,000. I'd like to have that. But I've seen these multi-mega jackpots, $250 million. I'd like to have that. How many lottery tickets do you think I've bought in my life? None. Okay? I would like to have it. I'm sincere when I say that. I'm just not going to do anything to make it happen. That's a want. Now, when an aspiration evolves, it becomes a desire. And that means I am going to do something to get it. As long as it's easy and convenient, I'll start moving toward it. So if I'm at the gas station, I might go in and pick up a lotto ticket, but I'm not going to make a special trip, okay? A want or a desire is not going to be enough to sustain activity over the course of an entire year when you're outside your comfort zone. Your aspirations have to evolve to the level of passion. And that word passion, what's the root of that? What does that mean? Those who have been in class with me before. Wow, I'm a great teacher. It all stuck. The Latin word for passion means to suffer. It means suffering. Okay? Y'all knew that, right? Some of y'all heard that before. The passion of the Christ means the suffering of the Christ, okay? Our aspirations have to evolve to that level if they are going to propel sustained action over time, okay? Now think about this. That's the bad news, right? Okay? Yeah, we have to suffer, okay? Well, nobody's going to beat us. It just means we have to be willing to get outside of our comfort zone. But here's the flip side of it. It's the bad news and the good news. We get to choose our discomfort. It's either the discomfort of taking productive activity to move towards the fulfillment of our aspirations, or we suffer the discomfort of staying right where we are and not having progression in our know, do, have. Never knowing, doing, or having more than we have right now. So we get to choose our pain. Isn't that awesome? You didn't know I was going to give you that kind of choice today. So it's very important you know what you want. You know how badly you want it. And we don't have time in this class to work through that, but I would encourage you to put some thought into that. I mean, before you commit to EXONN Gold or any other lead generation conversion activity over time, make sure, welcome Natalia, glad you're here. I want to share with you something that I wrote. Those of you who have been in my office have seen this before. Oh, you're good. Jackie Kilgore walked past my office last summer, looked at the blank wall and said, you really need something there. And I think she meant something with color, you know, something artistic. That doesn't really work for me. That's what my wife does at home. But at the office, I thought, okay, what's really my credo? What do I really believe? I mean, if I'm going to be assisting our agents in building their careers and their businesses, what's the mantra that's going to drive that? And so I just kind of looked deep inside and wrote it out and then framed it and put it on the wall, okay? And this is it. This is the difference. In fact, if you can't see that on your little weekly activity sheet, I wrote it on there, and I'll explain what that sheet's about a little bit later. But let me just read it to you, because this is what it's all about. This is what EXONN Gold is all about. This is all of what progression in your real estate career. It's all about this. The differentiating characteristic of successful salespeople is their willingness to consistently open the door to new relationships. Okay, let that sink in. My commitment to do so on a daily basis is my competitive advantage. That's what sets me apart. The daily discipline of proactively generating leads separates me from the pack, increases my lead, and guarantees my success. Guarantees. If I'm using proven strategies, guarantees my success. When encountering internal resistance, I don't want to do this, or external rejection, they might hang up on me, I ask myself, who else in my market is willing to do this? And what's the answer? No one. There's no one doing this. There's no one making these calls right now. There's no one else knocking on these doors right now. There's no one else taking this kind of strategic and tactical approach to their business right now. Okay? That's what's going to separate me from the pack, increase my lead, and guarantee my success. So EXONN Gold is all about taking these words and putting them into action in your business, becoming a proactive lead generator. Okay? So there's many sources of business in a real estate career. Okay? And if you've been in my classes, we talk about 5 prospecting sources and 5 marketing sources, and there's infinite number of subcategories under each of those. But for EXONN, we're going to focus on just 5 sources, 5 proven sources. And I want to take a few minutes now and just go through these. And we're not going to teach them today. The whole purpose of this session is to give you a preview of what's coming, to give you an overview of what we're going to be doing over the next several months, so that you can make an informed decision about whether or not you want to plug in. Okay? All right, first of the sources, e-marketing. The goal of our e-marketing strategy will be to drive people to your RE/MAX website, induce them to register, and by the way, when somebody registers, what magic happens? A lead is created. That's right, you get it for the first 2 hours if you accept it. If not, it goes to someone else, right? So we're going to drive them to your website, induce them to register, thus creating the lead, and then we're going to follow up in a manner that converts them into a client. Okay? By the way, how many of you all love Lead Street leads? Well, thank you, Robin. We got one believer. Why do you love them, Robin? What's really?
Because I don't do anything.
Okay.
They just come to me.
They come.
I sell them houses. So
Okay.
it's easy.
That's easy. How many come to you on average on a monthly basis?
I have no idea.
Okay. 2, 3, 5, 6?
I would say probably less than 10.
Less than 10. Okay, so 7 or 8. Let's go with that. Hi there, welcome. The goal, very specifically, I'm going to put a numerical on this. If you buy into what we do with e-marketing, my expectation is that within 2 to 3 months, you'll be generating a minimum of 5 leads per day. Per day. Okay? Now, the national average on conversion of internet leads, anybody know the number? 1%. 1. Would you agree with that, Vicki? Because you're connected nationally. 1%. So you would need 100 leads to get to the closing table one time. Well, if you're only getting 7 to 8 leads a month, okay, that's going to take you a year, right? A long time. But if you're getting 5 a day, how often are you going to get to the closing table? 1 to 2 times a month. Okay? Think about your average commission. Multiply that times 18. And that's the increase in your business that you will see just from our e-marketing strategy alone. Okay? So it's huge. And I'm going to say that a 1% conversion rate is completely unacceptable. That's a national average because most people neglect their internet leads. Okay? if you adopt a proactive strategy to reach out to them, to stay in touch with them, if you utilize some of the tools we already have and then layer onto that what I'm going to teach you, I think you can drive that up into the 5% range, okay? Which will just create an incredible impact upon your business. And it's going to be fun. We're going to do some things. Matt was talking about the green screen in my office. Have you all seen the green wall? Okay, behind my desk. That's because we're out of room, and we don't have room for a studio in our office. But we've built a full-blown lights, camera, action studio in the Atascocita office, and we're going to be having studio days where we'll invite you over there. We'll take an hour or two, and we'll shoot 5, 6, 7 videos of you. That'll be uploaded to your YouTube account. They'll be posted on your RE/MAX website. You'll be able to email them out to your clients. You'll be able to post them on Facebook or LinkedIn. So it's going to be some really cool stuff like that. Or we can just shoot them right in my office. I mean, as long as you're comfortable waist up and you don't want a full body shot, we can do it in my office and make it really simple. Yes, Vicki?
Frank, is this body aware that HAR has a TV studio where they do videos and it's nothing?
Yeah, I think you get 5 videos for $750.
$99.
For total of 5?
Now, they will do a video that you can post on your website.
One video for $99. Okay, great.
But it's a professional.
It is. And if you haven't seen them, they are off the charts incredible. Okay, for $99, I would say go get all you can. Absolutely. How many of y'all have done that, by the way? Okay, just Vicki, okay, Vanessa. All right, was that a hand, Bill? Have you done it? Oh, okay, so just 2 of you. I would say, hey, if you're all in, go to HAR because I cannot match their technical wizardry. I don't have their software programs. If you're not going to do that, then let me help you, okay? My price is $99 cheaper than HAR. Okay? It's a start. And I had been working on these videos for a couple months. Some of y'all, those of you who watch my videos, I send one out to you every Friday afternoon. Hopefully you have seen the increase in quality over the last couple of months as I've committed to learning this medium. And I wasn't going to offer it to you until I got to a level of quality that I would be comfortable you sharing with your clients. But I think we're there. I think we've got it. And so I will be offering those opportunities to you. I'll be giving you sample scripts, buyer tips, seller tips, personal introduction of yourself. I'm going to make it super simple, super easy for you to stand up in front of a camera and talk for about 90 seconds. Okay? All very short videos. But video's part of it. It's not all of it. You'll see on here, I've just given you a little bit of list of what we're going to go deep into: search engine optimization, creating landing pages, creating squeeze pages. And if you're not familiar with that stuff, do not be intimidated by it. I'm going to make it super simple, that I promise you, if you don't even know what a computer is, but you know how to type, that you'll be able to sit down and just follow, kind of like paint by number, and do this. Super simple, okay? And also super frugal. Everything that I'm going to coach you and recommend to you, I don't want to say this absolutely, but I think 99.9% of it is going to be absolutely free to you. Okay? I'm not going to be recommending paid services. Pay $29 a month for this and that. It's all going to be utilizing resources that are available to us without cost. Okay? All right. Creating a video library, I just touched on that. Each of you will create a video library. Blogging, Craigslist, YouTube, Facebook, and how to appropriately follow up on internet leads. And by the way, I have tossed out the number of give yourself a $100,000 raise this year by exploiting these 5 sources. You don't have to exploit all 5 sources. You just go deep on one of them, and you're going to get your increase, okay? Whatever your number is, and I keep saying 100 just because that's an easy number. Your number needs to be tied to your aspirations, and it might be considerably less than that or considerably more than that, but you can get whatever you want from any one of these sources. Okay, so that's e-marketing. We're also going to talk about expireds and FSBOs. We having a lot of expireds these days? Not many. Something's wrong, right, if they're expired. What about FSBOs? We seeing a lot of those? That's because our sellers are exceedingly smart, right? Because in most markets, You either have expireds or FSBOs. So in a tight market, things are expiring. In a hot market, people are saying, I can sell this thing myself, right, and pocket the commission. In the Woodlands area, we're not really seeing much of either. And then again, it's because our sellers are smart. They recognize that 95% of all buyers are realtor represented. Why would you shut yourself off from 95% of the market if you want to maximize your sale price, right? However, there are expireds and there are FSBOs in our market. They're not a strong presence, but they're out there, and I checked on HAR just earlier this week looking at expireds, what's expired in our market in the last 30 days, and they're all around us. So if that's a source that you want to exploit, I'm going to share with you a proven strategy for reaching out to them, expireds by phone, FSBOs face-to-face, and convert them. Because we know they want to sell, right? They did, if it expired, they definitely had a need to sell, which probably still exists. They probably just got frustrated at their incompetent realtor who couldn't sell their home, right? By the way, why couldn't their realtor sell their home?
They probably weren't listening to their realtor.
Okay. And what was their realtor telling them that they didn't listen to? How to price their home effectively, okay? It is 99% of the time going to be a pricing issue. And whether their realtor didn't have the courage to tell them the truth or didn't have the skills to get them to move towards the truth after an expiration, sometimes they're more open to the truth than they have been before, okay? You don't have to do expireds. You don't have to do FSBOs to be part of this program, but I'm saying it is still a very lucrative source of business if you're willing to expand your geographic market area outside the Woodlands proper, okay? If you're willing to go into Spring and Tomball and Cypress and Magnolia and Conroe, there's still a very rich source of leads available, and we'll go deep on that. Third source, open house. How many of y'all have held an open house in the last 30 days? Okay, several of you. Okay, very good. Those of you who are holding open houses, are you getting people through? Yep.
Yes, it's so totally different. We're doing it down in West University.
Yep.
And that's how most people sell their home. But it's a totally different type of person that comes in to do it.
In West U?
Yeah.
Yes, then up here?
Here, I found it not as good.
Yeah.
I just beneath everybody looking for something to do that day.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna coach you on a specific open house strategy that is proven to be so effective that you're going to get incredible results even if you don't hold the open house. Okay? The open house is almost an afterthought because the real value is happening in the promotion and the marketing that goes into preparing for the open house, okay? But then, oh yes, because of all that promotion and marketing, you're going to get incredible numbers of people through, and I'm going to show you exactly how to convert them, how to get their information, how to get them to give you their contact information, and then how to follow up on them effectively. So I am a huge, huge believer in open houses. And it's going to be a huge part of our neighborhood strategy, which I'll get to in a moment. Open houses are a big part of that because if you're trying to establish a dominant presence in your preferred market area, what better way than a couple times a month saturating that neighborhood with directional signs, cold air balloons, all of them with your name on them. And then, oh, by the way, flyers, which you have distributed to the 50 closest neighbors prior to the open house, and doing that a couple times a month. After 6 months of that, people are going to think, oh my goodness, there she goes again. Okay, there she is again. And by the way, I'm fully aware of sign restrictions in the Woodlands. Okay, I get that. Okay, that doesn't always apply one-to-one, but do we ever sell outside the Woodlands? I hope so. I hope so. Okay, so, and by the way, on open houses, because I know some of you, I'm already reading your minds. You're like, well, I don't have any listings. Okay, they're selling too fast before I can even have an open house, right? Is there anybody else in our office who has listings who might be willing for you to hold them open? Okay. Are there any builders with specs on the ground in finished condition who would be delighted for you to hold that house open? Okay. Yeah, you can talk to Jay Kyle while we're here. I talk every time I come in contact with the builder. Most recently was Sunday down in Reserve at Inverness. And what was the name of the Coventry Builders? They have, if you've ever seen, they have a gorgeous single-story model. And they have a spec that's 2 weeks away from being finished on the ground. When people see the model, what do they want to buy? The model. And they've got one for sale. I said, hey, I've got a whole bunch of agents back in my office who like holding open houses. Would you be willing for us to come down, saturate this whole area with directional signs, cold air balloons, and hold that spec home open? He said, oh my goodness, would you do that? I'll provide the refreshments. Okay? That's a $500,000 spec. Okay? There are opportunities everywhere. There's just no excuse for not being a proactive lead generator, and open houses can make you wealthy. I can't tell you the number of agents I've known in my career who've said open houses launched my career, okay? Or open houses sustained my career. That I generate X number of dollars in my business every year from open houses. So again, I'm just trying to open your mind a little bit, okay? If this is not something that you've been committed to, very lucrative source of business. All right, number 4, the fourth source that we're going to exploit is network. And this is going to be, again, a really fun one for us. So when I say network, I'm talking about, yes, your past clients and customers, the people in your database right now. By the way, do you have a database right now? Hi, welcome. Okay. Do you have complete contact information on everybody you've done business with in the past in electronic format? Okay. Okay, what about the people who live in your neighborhood? Do you have all their names and addresses in your database? What about all the people who live in your preferred market area? Do you have their names and addresses in your database? What about everybody who goes to your church? Everybody who attends your kids' schools, everybody who's a member of the Lions Club or Kiwanis Club or whatever garden club that you're plugged into. Do you have all their names and contact information in your database? Okay, you're leaving money on the table, missing opportunities. And so I'm going to share with you proactive strategies for gathering all that information and getting it uploaded into your Lead Street website, and then converting those leads into transactions. But beyond that, we're going to have some fun with it. I'm going to show you how to create your own professional networking group, okay, of other business people who commit to you that you're going to be their exclusive real estate referral partner. How many of y'all ever done B&I or anything like that? Anybody? Okay, Bill's done it. You've done it. Did you have success with it? I talked to an agent in our office 2 weeks ago, and I'm not going to say too much because some of y'all will know who she is. But 1 year ago today, she launched a professional networking group in the Woodlands, okay? And today, they're throwing a huge party to celebrate that fact. And guess how many people are going to be there? She's expecting over 100 business professionals at her networking party today, the anniversary party today, and every one of them have committed to using her exclusively for their personal real estate needs and referring her their real estate business. You think that's going to accelerate her business growth in 2014? If she did it, do you think you could do it? Well, that's the issue, isn't it? I'm going to show you how, okay? And let me just throw this in here right now. Here's all that you, because I know some of y'all are, I'm seeing glassy eyes. You're getting a little overwhelmed, like, how can we possibly do all this, okay? Here's all I want to say to you. To plug in at any level you want to and see incredible results, all you're going to have to do is bring the internal willingness. Just bring the desire. Just bring the motivation, okay? Because I'm going to give you all the skills, all the knowledge, all the strategies, all the information, all the ability. When you bring willingness and ability, you get results, okay? So all you have to be concerned about right now is, am I committed? How passionately do I want it, okay? How committed am I? And if you're committed, oh my goodness, then we're just going to sail, okay? You bring the willingness, I'll give you the ability, okay? Guaranteed. All right, one last one, neighborhood. and again, I love this, we're going to have so much fun with this. The whole goal of our neighborhood strategy is becoming the agent of choice in your preferred market area, however you define that, okay? And that's evidenced by a 20% plus personal market share. Okay? That's not RE/MAX has 20% market share or our office has 20%, but you, Stacy, have 20% market share in your preferred market area. Okay? That's dominance. That's 1 out of every 5 seller has your name on the yard sign in their front yard. Okay? So we're going to talk about how to do that, how to accomplish it. By the way, that's not going to happen in 2 to 3 months. Okay? A 20% personal market share is what you can achieve over 2 to 3 years. Okay? By the way, are you all going to be in the business 2 to 3 years from now? Most of you? Okay. If you got some more grapes, you might keep your strength up. If time is going to go by anyway, and we're still going to be in the business 2 to 3 years from now anyway, wouldn't it make sense to have 20% personal market share in our preferred market area? If that was really possible, if that was doable, wouldn't it just make sense, since we're going to live, eat, and breathe and do business anyway, why don't we just do some of those things that are going to get us that dominant position where we want to be dominant, okay? That's what we're going to talk about in neighborhood, okay? It's geographic farming and community service and a whole lot more, and I think you're going to love it, okay? All right, so those are the 5 sources, and I know I've thrown a whole bunch of stuff against the wall. What questions, comments, objections do you have so far? Yes, Lydia.
I went out of my comfort zone
Yes.
and I got a listing
Yes.
last night. I only showed up with the contract because just by conversation, he said, okay, you're it.
You're it. Come on.
It's in a neighborhood, you cannot put a for sale sign out front.
Yes.
It's gated. This is not Carlton Woods. It's like way beyond my comfort zone of